Men are wired
We want to see.
what we see.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what the day I was going to pay bride price, I paid for everything.
Every.
Yeah, nothing was
Option.
no full option.
Option.
And you call, return back in the evening. Have you taken your bath? I'm inside the room with you. But when you now come to the main thing, you are not in the mood or you are not ready. That is only when you remember you are not feeling too well. So it look as if you are weaponizing sex.
Me, I'm tired. I'm just getting back from work. Can we make this an early morning thing? Can I get a little bit of rest now? Early morning. There's this Igbo adage that hunger that has hope will not kill somebody. For us, it's not about, the main deal, getting in there. It's about everything that happens before you get in there. So a lot of men, and I say this with every sense of responsibility, do not have the patience it takes to like woo your bride in and do everything you need to do, like foreplay, for instance.
In marriage and you still masturbate.
Okay. When you talk about watching adult movies, you're now watching other people. It's still idolatry. Yes. It's still adultery. And if whoever indulges in that wants to be honest with you, they'll tell you the far-reaching implication of doing that is oftentimes when you're now with your partner, you're not seeing your partner. You're seeing whoever it is that you watched in that movie. Hello, welcome back to another beautiful episode of Life with Cynthia. Today we have we always have sensitive topics, but this is a bit very, 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 very sensitive. And it is for the married people. Again, for the married people. All you singles, don't come and learn what you want to use in your single life. These things we're talking about is for the married people, please, strictly. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about sex and intimacy in marriage. And we have two wonderful guests to have to anchor this particular topic with me. We have Mrs. Uuju Odia. You are very familiar with Mrs. Uuju because she's been on the podcast before and she talked about forgiveness the last time we had her on the podcast. And we have Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy has a lot to tell you people. So please lean close. Lean close to your speakers and get ready for us to dive into this. Sex and intimacy in marriage is a topic that a lot of us shy away from. A lot of us married people shy away from. And it's very important because I remember a pastor telling me for the men, he would say for the men that sex is a need. And for the women, we just overlook this need. Like we feel like, why the pressure? Why are you stressing me? I just had a child. There are kids. I have children to take care of. We don't necessarily see the importance of intimacy in marriage. So I'm happy we're having this topic so that everyone who is having a challenge whatsoever in their marriage as regarding this particular topic can listen and maybe learn one or two. Just for the sake of serenity, just in case I say sex, no, it's intimacy. And if I say intimacy, please also know it's sex. So it means it goes both ways. We're going to be having diving right into the question. I will start with the man because again, I was told that it's the man that has this need more. So I'm going to start with Mr. Happiness. How often should married couple have sex? Is there really a normal frequency or should it be based on connection?
Wow. I want to start by saying that sex to the man is actually a need. The only thing that God created, when God made the universe, the first thing that God said that it was not good for the man to be alone. Every other thing that God created was perfect, good. But the need of the man is only thing that God said is not good for the man to be alone. So God created the woman and to meet the need of the man. So sex should be not only based on connection. To the woman, it is connection. A lady cannot make love unless there is a connection.
Yes.
Apart from outside a business. But to the man, a man can make love to an house girl while the madam is very beautiful. You not wonder what is the attraction for this man to go condescend so low to this particular, because it is a need when the woman is not available. So the woman should watch out for the man, and the man should also watch out for the woman. Watch out for each other. Both should watch out for each other. Most especially, the men will always demand for sex from their wives. But most times the women are not ready. They will let you know that let's do it tomorrow. But to the man, it is a thing of the now. If you're not doing it now, if you're pushing it to tomorrow, so I don't believe it is supposed to be by connection. You should be planned out. If you're having twice, maybe 3 times, some people plan theirs 3 times a week. Decide the days that you want for the week. But it should be both of them connecting to each other. But I don't think it should be by only connection alone.
Okay, do you agree with that? Do you agree that it should be planned out? You should have like a map or a diary that says it has to be some certain days in the week. Do you agree with that?
There's some sort of wisdom to that, especially if the two people involved run very tight schedules, and you can plan around your schedule and say, okay, on this day, because I believe that there are certain mental and emotional conditions that need to be in order for you to actually connect enough on a very deep level to talk about before you talk about sex, so in marriage. So I believe that you can plan around the schedule. He did say the man look out for the woman look out for the man. I feel like there's a lot of kindness that needs to be involved, that needs to be considered when it has to do with sex. If we help me. So if there's a lot that a couple needs to know before you even go into marriage.
Yes.
You need to know both the physiological need for sex. You need to know the emotional need for sex and intimacy. You need to know the mental need for it, And when you know that, you will know that beyond how you feel, there's a physiological need. I mean, just like the way you have physiological processes in the body, you have ovulation, you have monthly cycle, you have, it is a physiological need. It will help you to be kind to your partner, knowing that this is a need that is more physiological for him than it is. And if you know that, then I'm sure we'll get to that point in this discourse where if you know it's a physiological need, then you can't wield it as a weapon.
Okay, because you're heading into my next question already, which says what do I do when I am in the mood and my husband or wife is not? What do you do?
Okay, so for me, your husband or wife is not. You get them in the mood. You do what you need to do to get them in the mood.
Okay.
Sometimes it might require, like I said, kindness. Kindness is treating the other person the way you would want to be treated.
Okay.
So considering the other person's need the way you would want yours to be considered. So I'd say if you are not in the mood, the first question is, why are you not in the mood? It should be something of an open communication. You should at some point in time sit down and say, okay, why exactly are you not in the mood? Is there anything I can do to make it better? Is there anything I'm not doing that I need to do? Is there something I'm getting right I need to do more? So I believe that sex should be a topic that every couple should converse freely about and openly about. And if you have decided that out of all the men in this whole universe and out of all the women, this is a person I have decided to pick my tent and do life with, then you should be open. And I mean, when you need to be vulnerable to your partner and let them know
Spouse.
exactly why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Sometimes it might just require a little kindness from one spouse to say, okay, I'm tired right now. Okay, can I fix you a bath? Can I give you a massage? Is it gonna help? Can we play some soft music? Can I set the mood? Is there a particular mood and ambience? Is there something I can do to, so if there is, yes, by all means, do it if you can. It will go a long way in easing the impasse.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, do you want to say something? Or
Yes,
can
I
okay,
want
just
to
go
say
on.
something along that line.
Okay.
Do you know it is easier for a woman to get the man into the mood than for a man to get the woman into the mood? The man is always, or let me say, 90% in the mood. That is for the man.
Okay.
But the woman is difficult to get her into the mood even she's not there.
Can I say it's because, sorry, I think it's because there are deeper conversations that need to be had for the woman. I'm speaking from the point of view of a woman, There are deeper conversations that need to be had. We need to sit down and talk about it. Beyond the physiological need, there are reasons for us women. Intimacy is very key to us. So, for instance, I can't have a whole day, 24 hours or maybe 12 hours at work. I don't have you in my day. I've not had any conversations with you, no communications, no acts of kindness here and there, no acts of care, sensitivity. How are you? How are you doing? How is your day going? When you can, no text, no, there are things you do. For us women, sex is not instant.
The woman.
You understand? Sex is not instant for us. There is a build up to it. But for men, they just see and everywhere is activated. For us women, it's a build up. Sex for us, it's a build up. You can't go the whole day and we've not communicated. There's not been any form of gesture. Okay, take for instance, I'll build a scenario. You're at work, I'm at work. We're both dealing with different things wherever we are, and you've not checked up on me. You've not sent text messages to know that I'm in your thoughts. And I think it's both ways. It doesn't have to be the man doing it. The woman could do it too. You haven't checked. We've not spoken, and then we just get back from work. You're tired. I'm tired. We're trying to run around to settle in, and then one bam, uncle with his eyes is everywhere. I'm not wired to see. Like, for crying out loud, you could walk past me in your birthday suit and I really do not really get. But for the woman, it's actually her ears. Men are wired through their eyes. So a man just needs see and then he's everywhere. But women, it's what we hear. We're wired. You can, if you start tuning the radio all day, from the beginning. So it's easy when we just come back, it's plug and play because I'm already all wired up. So I think it's something that, and if husbands will kindly realize that this is what it is what it is. Men are wired through their eyes. We are wired through our ears. Another scenario is that you can speak to me harshly, speak to me sensitively all through the day, and then in the night you say, oh yeah. No, it doesn't work like that. It works like that for those who do business. But for me, I expect a deeper level of connection with you. And so it can be like that. So I think that it would go a long way to help if we are intentional, both the husband and the wife, we are intentional. Uncle, if you know that on a particular day, you know that it's going to get somehow later in the day, then make your bed well, so that it makes it easier for you.
The way you're looking at this look.
In fact,
let me just ask you a question so that you can just answer.
Please,
you can just say what you want to say alongside.
Please.
So do you think is it okay to say no? Is it okay for your spouse to say no when they're not in the mood or when they're tired?
Well, it depends. It depends.
Okay.
It should take something deeper for you to resist or reject your spouse.
Okay.
You are not feeling too well. It's understood. But you are not feeling too well, but in the next moment, you are laughing and joking everywhere. When they come to the bedroom matter, you are not feeling well.
We'll make you feel well. Like if it's a headache, we'll give you Panadol.
We're talking about the lady now.
And that's what I'm saying. If you have a headache, you're not feeling too well, keep a card of Panadol by the best.
I already have that.
Thank you, sir.
Look at this, madam, you asked a question. At a time, I want to use myself as a practical example now. Men are wired
with what they see.
What we see.
Yes, sir.
All right. And the day I was going to pay bride price, I paid for everything.
Every.
Yes.
Nothing
Full
was
option.
no full option. And you return back in the evening. Taking your bath, I'm inside the room with you. But when you now come to the main thing, you are not in the mood or you are not ready. That is only when you remember you are not feeling too well. So it looks as if you are weaponizing sex.
Can I
please, you will chip in 1 minute. Let me just finish this aspect. How can I be in marriage and you still masturbate?
Okay.
I know of a couple, a friend complained.
Yes.
That he still uses his hand to satisfy himself, even though he's in marriage.
Oh, wow.
At the end of the day, what do we call that? Do you call that marriage? Where at the end of the day, the man is still dwelling in sin, which ought not to be.
Okay, so I think, Mrs. Uju, I think you should balance this. Yeah. Okay, because a lot of married people had this challenge once or twice. The challenge of masturbation. Even in marriage, a lot of times. So I want you to balance this. Is it okay? Because if I'm tired, I'm tired. But I think Mr. Happy's problem is you're tired every day.
Yes.
So if there's a way you can balance this for me, let me.
Okay, so I'm not just going to sit down here and pretend like these problems are not real. They are real. A lot of couples,
marriages.
A lot of marriages, are just well packaged on the outside, and we're just trying to cope on the inside and work out. That was why I started by first saying that we go to school for everything else except marriage. Really, I think that a lot of people go into marriage without even knowing what the requirements for marriage, what they are required to do in marriage, what they are required to give up in marriage, and what they are required to accept in marriage. So when they go into marriage, growing up as a child, you barely saw your mom and your dad do all of this. So you just grew up thinking that, okay, so I think that the first port of call will be, I do not think that it is right for any couple to go into marriage without first sitting down to say, what is this going to cost us? What is it going to take? Marriage is sacrificial. Marriage is 100% sacrifice. In fact, I do not know of any higher school of the spirit than marriage. If you want to make heaven, marriage can take you there. Marriage can take you to hell. Because there's a lot you're required to, for instance, self. You're required to give up. You're required to die to yourself in marriage. So it can't be about, if I'm tired, I'm tired. Then there's no kindness in it. If I'm tired, there should be a way, a very good way to communicate to my partner that I am tired now. But can I get a little bit of rest? Like, for instance, you could say, honey, I'm tired. I'm just getting back from work. Can we make this an early morning thing? Can I get a little bit of rest now? Early morning. There's this Igbo adage that hunger that has hope will not kill somebody. So if the man knows that, okay, not about now, but I have hope. I mean, it makes it a lot more bearable and understandable. You could say early in the morning when I'm rested a bit, can I rest for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? I will attend to you. Like I started initially, for us women, it's more of intimacy. A woman, that's why in marriage, there are certain things that I said is a deeper conversation. I don't know how deep we're allowed to go, but when it comes to sex in marriage, I can't I can speak to some extent that for us it's not about, I mean, the main deal, getting in there. It's about everything that happens before you get in there. So a lot of men, and I say this with every sense of responsibility, do not have the patience it takes to like woo your bride in and do everything you need to do, like foreplay, for instance. Women go through a lot of physiological processes in childbirth, ovulation, monthly cycle. Some women come up very dry and sex is very uncomfortable for them. The question is, do you know that as a husband that your woman is this way? And if you do know, what can you do to help her? You might have to spend more time in foreplay to get her there. You might have to be intentional with building up her day. That's why I said it's a build up. There are certain things you say to a woman. There are certain ways you talk to a woman, even without you asking. She's game, because you have built it up. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I believe that it's in marriage. Kindness should be written in bold letters, and kindness and selflessness.
Okay, ma.
I was going to say, beyond the sexual gratification that comes with having sex with this person you have chosen to do life with, it's also physiological for men. It's been medically proven that there is, if men do not, and I'm talking about men now, do not have sex a particular number of days, it predisposes them to a higher risk of prostate cancer.
Yes.
So if I know that as a wife, that hey, if I don't do this bit, this guy might end up, and I love my husband, I want to be kind to him and say, okay, let me even put my own feelings in the burner for another day, and then tend to him, because it's a need right now for him.
Okay, ma. So we've heard so many stories where couples use intimacy as punishment. So because my husband annoyed me, I want to deny him. Or because my wife did this to me, I would deny her. I would like you to speak on that.
In all honesty, I think that every marriage at some point or the other, every couple or every spouse at one point or the other have done that.
Yes.
You know, and it's still so I'm not going to sit here and play all righteous. Whether you admit it at some subconscious level, you know that this is exactly the reason why I'm upset, I'm mad at you. So there's no coming near me when I'm mad at you. That's why I said marriage is sacrificial. And marriage is, you have to be a kind person to be in marriage. You have to think beyond you to be in marriage. So for me, some of the things I think about is, okay, there's a medical angle to this thing that I want to avoid. So because of it, no matter how I feel right now, I need to attend, especially if it has come up as a need. There are some men that once you're able to take care of them very well, and they are fully gauged, they can go without it for a while. So if you know that your man is like that like just like topping the oil in you top the oil, why don't you take time, top it, so that the other days is full, you can now rest. Weaponizing sex in marriage is not kind. It is not kind, because it is more of a physiological need for one partner. I've also seen women that it's a physiological need for. As much as we're saying men are wired through their eyes, they respond faster to it, there are women who do too. So everything I'm saying is vice versa. Is you being kind to me, knowing that as a wife, as a mother, I've dealt with, I'm more like the emotional bank for the family. So I'm taking care of the children. I'm taking care of you. I wear many hats. I'm taking care of your mother. If your mother is still alive, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. Everybody is like, the woman juggles a lot emotionally. And that's very draining, really. You want to make sure that everybody is at a good place in your home. You want to keep a particular atmosphere. So oftentimes you become the buffer. You become the buffer for everybody's emotion. So that can be draining. You want to keep the kids in check. You want to also be ready for your husband by the time he comes home. You're the nurse, you're the teacher, you're the homework extra moral class teacher, you're the first aid, you're the cook, you're the driver, you are the washerman, you are the it's quite a lot. So I really would want to use this podium, since we're talking about it this way. And this is not to say that the man doesn't lift heavy in the family. But I'm saying on a day-to-day basis, women have to juggle all of this. So I want to also use this podium to appeal to our husbands that let's not, there's this thing that happened when a man comes home and the woman says, I'm tired. And the first question is, what have you been doing all day? I've been the one, I went to work and you've been home and you're telling me you're tired. You know, it takes a day in the life of a woman for you to know what she goes through. You know, let's swap roles for a day. You will be tired too. You might even be more tired.
Half a day, my husband called me to come and carry my children. He's not doing it again.
I think it, like I said, it calls for kindness. It calls for you realizing that our roles, though different, they are complementary. Our roles, though different, they matter. Okay, one of the things that is the greatest turn off for any woman is that question: what have you been doing all day? Hello, sir. The children are in their beds. They are cleaned. They are washed. Homework's done. Dishes done. The house is clean. The atmosphere is peaceful. I've been at work all day, sir. That's a lot. Okay, so I think that any discerning husband really should come home every day wanting to be that friend she can just put up her feet and say, oh, what a day. And we swap stories. Your day has been this way, my day has been this way. Can we now do ourselves well? Do you understand me?
Let me just want to add to what she just said. They say, look at this. We have agreed that sex is a need for the man. No man will weaponize a need. All right? I know that I needed it more. Why should I make it a weapon? So weaponizing it comes from the part of the woman. It's okay. My husband has done this. Therefore, I am going to deny him. We agree you are angry. But let it not get to the level of denying for 2 weeks.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that.
Let it not be to the level of, say, therefore, because of what you have done, even when the man is on his knees begging, he said, because of this, I am going to, I'm not going to be with you for the next 2 weeks.
No, that shouldn't.
It shouldn't be.
Yes, it shouldn't be.
That's an
But this is exactly what is happening in so many homes. Just that they are not good enough.
Yes, that's why I said this topic
to
is a
talk
topic
about
a lot of
it.
people shy away from. But
Nobody want to talk about it.
It happens a lot. Okay, so Mr. Happy, I'm going to take you back a bit. I know there was a time you said there was this emotional disconnection. I remember when you made a statement like you wanted to go to the children's room or make a fifth room.
Yeah.
So I know that you are out of that space now. I want to know how you were able to rekindle the emotion and and bring it back to where you are right now.
All right, thank you for taking me back. I felt like that because I felt that my needs were being neglected.
Okay.
All right, sexually being neglected.
Okay.
And even when I made an attempt, even when I lobby, even when I said to even give bribe, still they were still not enough.
Politician.
Still not enough. But one day, I was talking to my wife that, do you know that your action, what you did today, I was not able to pray as I should pray in church.
Wow.
Because I was bitter.
Wow.
So close from church, as she came to me, he said, my dear, I don't want to be the reason why you wouldn't make heaven. So what do you want? I said, I'm not asking for much. 2 times in a week.
You laid it times on the table.
Yes, just 2 in a week.
So from what I got here now, communication.
Yes, communication. We had to talk about it.
Yes. I know Mrs. Uuju made mention of that too.
We had to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. And also I observed, at times, sex to some people with the kind of body, the nature of the body they have, could be pain, could be torment.
I have this final question, so we can leave.
So can I say something? Let me just take us back a little bit. I was going to say a few things that could help. I said open conversation. I said You need to be vulnerable with each other. You need to be able to tell your partner, because for me, sex is a sacred thing. It goes beyond sex. I would often say between a couple, a married couple, lawfully married in the eyes of God and in the eyes of men, is the highest form of agreement there is. And then if we go back to the Holy Book, it says, can two work together except they agree? Is at the point of, is on the marital bed that every inhibition, every restraint, every is taken away, and a couple can truly be one. I believe that some of the greatest victory every couple can get, even in the place of prayer, is after, when you get to that point sexually where two is now one, both emotionally, both physically. I don't think there's anything you can ask God for at that point that He wouldn't do for you. So I did say, if you realize it's a physiological need, you realize it's an emotional need. I said earlier that it is at the point where a couple gets to that. Sex is, I think, it's God's way of illustrating what oneness and unity can be with a couple in a marriage. So at that point where both of you are naked and not ashamed, and you have been able to achieve that height of agreement on your marital bed, I don't think there's any prayer you make at that point that will be denied you, because of the level of unity that you achieve. So that's why I said, beyond realizing that it's a physiological need and realizing it is an emotional need, you also need to realize that it's a spiritual need. A woman is designed like an altar. And it's been said, and that's why she bleeds every month. Everybody knows that there has to be blood on the altar. And this is an altar, a mobile altar. And of all the altars, apart from the altar of God, this is the only other altar your husband is allowed to worship on. Because where a man, there's a research, and we could look into it later, but where a man worships from is actually where he makes love from to his wife. So that's why any act of infidelity, or immoral adultery, God does not, it does not condone it. It doesn't, because it's adultery in a marriage between a couple is to God idolatry. What idolatry is, when you leave God and you go after idols. That's what it is to God. So to a couple is adultery. You don't leave your altar and worship on other altars. So if we also realize as a couple that sex is a form of worship, it's something you do on an altar, which is a mobile altar, the one God has fashioned for you and said, of all the altar, apart from my altar, this is the only one I approve for you to worship on. Then you realize it's a spiritual need. Then if you realize it's a spiritual need, you realize that it's also an insurance for your family. So when things get funny in your family, that altar, that your marital bed, that's why the Holy Book says the bed must be undefiled, because it's an altar. That your marital bed become a place of prayer. It becomes a place where you can sit upon as a priest, as a man or a woman over your home, and speak over your home, and God honors it, because both of you are always coming together. That's why the scripture also says that, I think it was in the epistles, Apostle Paul said, even when you're fasting, you cannot fast without the consent of your partner. If your partner says no, your fast will not work. Do you understand? And he says, even when both of you decide to stay away from sex because you want to seek the face of God, he said, be fast to go back. Because he realizes the spiritual significance of it. So I think it's something. That's why I started by saying that marriage is something that everybody goes to school for certificates and everything, qualifications, but marriage, we no longer have those schools. And that's why we see these things eroding in marriages, because nobody's talking about it anymore, to say that you need to see sex beyond how you feel. You need to see it as something that you have been commanded to do. That's what is something, is one of your purpose in marriage, is that you will create this atmosphere through which both of you can reach that level of oneness, so that you can assess the things that you need to assess.
Okay, so finally, rounding up this episode, I would love to ask a very significant question. So, for the married people, I mean, when you've tried everything that you want to try to put her in the mood or put him in the mood, and it's not forthcoming, is it okay to use the word, we'll call it, to watch movies that can stir you up? So in the right sense, what I'm trying to say is it okay to watch?
Oh, please don't even finish that question.
It's not the right thing to do.
It's not at all. It's not at all, because when you talk about watching adult movies, you're now watching other people. It's still idolatry.
Yes.
It's still adultery. And if whoever indulges in that wants to be honest with you, they'll tell you the far-reaching implication of doing that is oftentimes when you're now with your partner, you're not seeing your partner. You're
watching the movie.
You're seeing whoever it is that you watched in that movie. So you're practically not with your partner. You're with multiple partners that you have seen in multiple movies. Wow. There's just something it does to the soul. I mentioned it before that God said the bed has to be undefiled. You cannot walk in Nitel and want PHCN to pay you. You can't use the devil's tools to do God's work. You can't use the devil's ammunition to do God's work. Remember, in the first place, the reason why God wants marriage is for godly seed. He said it in his scripture. So imagine using immorality, pornography. You're actually watching adults like yourself indulge in this thing in the most gory ways, because the truth that a lot of people don't know, the porn industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, but everything in it is falsehood. Everything in it is not God. It's not sponsored by God. It's not clean. It's not clean. A lot of them get high to do whatever it is they do, and when you're done watching it, you want to subject your partner that is not high on anything to do what they are. Oh my God, no. I think on a lot of levels is wrong. You don't even want to desecrate your spirit like that.
Okay, see, I just want to add a little. You see, look at this. Sex, first of all, begins with the mind. And a situation comes in when you have watched this particular movie. Both of you watch the movie. And for you to be able to get satisfaction, you began to imagine the person in that particular movie to get satisfaction. That is the person you are actually having sex with.
Yes, absolutely.
Not the person lying on the bed with you. And also would want to add this, that every car has a product manual. Every TV has a product manual. So if you want to get the best result, you need to go by the manual of the producer. The producer, the person that made sex, let me put it this way. Look one kind. God, he didn't put the vagina in the mouth. Neither did he put it in the armpit. Neither did he put it in the anus. So when you are watching some of these movies, they go the extreme.
It's perversion.
It's
perversion. It's
corrupted. And at the end of the day, it is the woman that suffers at the end of the day. Because while all you have seen on the movie, you want to practice. And it becomes a habit. The hardest thing to break is a habit that is formed. The fellowship that we organized, there's a lady came, and she's going on that she's to be operated upon now, because she was doing this anal sex.
Yeah.
So she can no longer hold poo.
Oh my.
So when they think if the toilet is not closed, she'll defecate on herself.
Oh my.
So we all started contributing money
sad state
to her sister.
That's really sad.
It's sad.
Very sad.
That's really sad. Please, it's not advisable. Do not go close to adult content. As a married person. As a single person, first of all, you're not even supposed to be thinking of anything that has any relationship in relation to intimacy or sex. So please, this topic is for, it's for the married people. But as a married person, I hope you've been able to learn so much on intimacy. Beyond sex is intimacy.
Intimacy.
You need to be intimate with your spouse. It helps a whole lot of ways. And I'm going to say a very big thank you for coming on board
Thank you.
on this topic. I know how sensitive it
Yes.
is, especially for us with different spouses.
Yes.
You know, our spouse, I'm sure our spouse will be waiting. What does she want to say now? What is he saying? What is the, for us to come back home to a
It's
round
not
table. So
easy.
I'm so grateful that
not easy.
you did me the honors, and God bless you. Thank you so very much. From all of us today, we are going to be signing out. But before we do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow the community, build the community, comment and tell us how it has been for you married people. If you want to be anonymous, please come to our inboxes and tell us how you feel about today's comments, and anything else you need us to talk about. We will be right here to talk about your story. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We will see you on the next episode. From all of us in this room, we'll say a hearty bye.
Bye.
Bye.